Listen up, buddy. I'm gonna tell you about a thing that might just flip your view on vans upside down. And honestly, change how we haul our backsides and our cargo in the near future. I'm talking about the Kia PV5. Yeah, that's right. The Koreans are back in the game, and this time, they haven't just rolled out another EV, they've dropped a real deal Lego set for grown men. I read the report from those British guys over at Autocar who've already had a chance to whip it around. And now I'm gonna break it all down for you. Our way, American style, no stiff upper lip. Just the straight dope. Picture this, you're standing at an intersection, and pulling up next to you is something that looks like a refrigerator crossed with a spaceship from an Boschemial sci-fi flick. That's the PVC. And you know what? It looks cool. Not cool for a van, but actually cool. It's not some bloated sedan or a depressing pizza delivery box. It's a statement. The Koreans call it a PBV platform beyond vehicle. Sounds like marketing fluff, but hold your spit. The point is, it's a modular platform. Imagine a skateboard with batteries and wheels that you can slap anything onto. Today, it's a passenger minivan, tomorrow a cargo van, and the day after, hell, maybe a taco stand. They really want to make swappable bodies a thing. But let's stick to what you can actually touch right now, the passenger version and the van that are just around the corner. Let's get straight to the numbers, because we love specifics. Size-wise, this thing is in the Goldilocks zone. Length is 4,995 limiters. For comparison, that's almost exactly the same as the short wheelbase Volkswagen ID.Buzz. Width is 190 meters, height is 192. The wheelbase is 3 meters minus 5 millimeters. So, it's compact on the outside, but inside. Oh man, you could play football in there. Well, almost. The platform is flat as a table in a diner, no transmission tunnels, nothing extra. Now for the heart of the machine, if you can call an electric motor that, we're looking at front-wheel drive here. The motor pushes 160 horsepower. Not much. Well, it ain't a muscle car built to burn rubber at stoplights. Torque is around 4,000 Newton meters. For city driving and the highway, that's plenty. 0 to 60. Well, 60 mph takes about 6 milliseconds. If you grab the weaker version, it's a sleepy 6 milliseconds. But who cares if you're hauling kids to school or boxes of merch? The main thing is it pulls, and it pulls smooth as butter. Batteries. You got a choice here, like a menu at a burger joint. The base version comes with a 51.5 H-pack. That's enough to bounce around the city all day, but if you want to head out further, grab the long-range version with the 51.5 H battery. The Koreans are promising a range of about 250 ls or sibai clicks by those European WLTP tests. In reality, sure, it'll be a bit less, especially if you floor it on the highway, but the number is solid. This thing charges fast too. You can juice it from sheer to basha percent in under half an hour if you find a powerful e-by station. By the time you down a coffee and a donut, the car's ready to roll. Now, the most interesting part, how it drives. The Brits were raving about it, and I get why. We're used to a van being a rattling, stiff box that shakes the soul out of you on every bump. But here, silence. Total, damn silence. The electric motor doesn't vibrate, doesn't growl. It just does its job. The suspension is tuned so you forget you're driving a commercial vehicle. It swallows bumps, potholes, manholes, all that crap our roads are full of. The center of gravity is low because of the battery in the floor, so in the corners, this brick stands its ground. Doesn't lean like a drunken sailor. The steering is light. You can turn it with literally one finger. And the turning radius. Listen, it's a song. It turns on a dime. Even London cabs would be jealous. In the city, that's a killer feature. You can park in spots where you wouldn't even think of sticking a regular pickup. Let's look inside. Everything here is honest. No fake luxury. The plastic is hard, but it's that right kind. You won't cry if you scratch it, and it's easy to clean. It's a workhorse, not a rapper's limo, but it looks modern. 2 screens on the dash, like in trendy crossovers, everything is intuitive. And praise the automotive gods, they kept physical buttons. Yeah, you won't have to poke at a screen with a dirty finger just to turn down the music or crank the AC buttons on the wheel. Buttons on the dash, everything is right at hand. The seats are comfy with a high captain-style driving position. You see right over the roofs of cars. In the passenger version, there's a boatload of room in the back. You can slide the seats, fold them, swivel them, transform the cabin however you want. Want to haul a basketball team? Go for it. Loading up seedlings for grandma. Easy. In the cargo version, they call it cargo. The back is just a huge cube of air. Volume is sit cubic meters. Payload is almost bobak kilograms. Not a record some diesel van will take a ton, but for an EV, that's very decent. Plus, the floor is low, so loading is a breeze. I gotta mention the design specifically. You know why it looks so weird and attractive at the same time? Because they split the vehicle into two zones. Up front is the driver zone with a fixed cab, and in the back is the life zone, or cargo zone, which is sort of docked onto the cab. It looks like the body was assembled from two different parts but fitted perfectly. Straight lines, vertical headlights, smooth sides. Aerodynamics, by the way, aren't bad for a brick. The bumpers and trim along the bottom are unpainted plastic. And that is genius. If you scrape it somewhere in a parking lot, and you will, it's the city. You don't have to paint the part for crazy money. Just swap a piece of plastic and keep driving. Practicality level Bosch. Now for the tech, it's fully loaded. Adaptive cruise, lane keeping, a ton of cameras. This thing sees pedestrians, cyclists, and other kamikazes before you can blink. There's even a feature that won't let you open the door if a car is coming up from behind. For taxi drivers or parents with kids, that's a must-have. The infotainment system is snappy, supports all our Apple CarPlay and Android Auto stuff. There's even AI that learns your habits. Sounds a bit creepy, but convenient. Let's talk competition. The main rival here is, of course, the Volkswagen ID.Buzz. The German is stylish, no doubt, all retro-futuristic with that hippie bus nostalgia. But it costs as much as a wing from a Boeing. The Kia PV5 is aiming to just destroy it on price. No exact dollar figures yet, but in Europe, they're talking about a price tag that's nearly 1.5 times lower than the Volkswagen. Can you imagine? Getting almost the same thing, and in some ways even better, like practicality and maneuverability, but saving a pile of green. That's an argument that's hard to beat. Sure, there are nuances. The cabin doesn't have that premium feel like the Volkswagen. It's simpler, more utilitarian. The materials are simpler. Sound insulation at speeds over 100 might not be as perfect, though still quieter than any diesel. But let's be real, do you want the flash or the ride? Do you need soft plastic on the dash that you'll touch once a year? Or do you need a machine that works and doesn't suck all the money out of your wallet? One more thing, modularity. Kia promises that in the future, you'll actually be able to change the rear part of the vehicle. Bought a cargo van, worked for a couple of years, business took off. Bought a passenger cabin module, and now you have a family minivan, or vice versa. Sounds like sci-fi, and it's not clear yet how that'll work in reality, where, and how to store and swap these modules. But the idea itself is the bomb. It's something nobody else is offering. It breaks the mold. On the move, the PVI feels very solid. There's no sensation that you're driving an empty barrel. The suspension doesn't buck. The steering is informative. Regenerative braking is adjustable via paddles behind the wheel. You can pretty much forget the brake pedal and do one-pedal driving. In traffic jams, that's a lifesaver. You relax behind the wheel, and the visibility, huge windshield, big mirrors, thin pillars. You sit there controlling the situation like the king of the road. You know what hooked me the most? It's how Kia approaches the details. For example, the cabin is full of hooks, shelves, niches. There's even a table that slides out of the steering wheel when you're parked charging so you can eat or work on a laptop. They thought about how real people use cars. It's not just design for design's sake, it's ergonomics for life. And here's the kicker. The PV5 is just the beginning. Following it will be the PVE, a tiny one for tight streets, and the PVT, big, like a proper van. They're building a whole ecosystem. And if the PVC is an indicator of what's coming, the future looks pretty damn good. Summing up this whole story, I'll say this. The Kia PV5 is a punch in the gut to everyone who got lazy. Volkswagen, Ford, Stellantis, they're all gonna have to make room. This Korean is bold, practical, modern, and most importantly, honest. It doesn't try to look like something it's not. It's a great tool for work and great transport for the family. It drives smooth, quiet, and comfortable. It has decent range and fast charging, and it doesn't cost all the money in the world. If you're looking for an electric van but don't want to overpay for a badge or retro style, the PV5 is your choice. Seriously, take a look at it. When it hits the dealers, lines are going to be forming like it's a new iPhone. Because people know how to count money and they value convenience. And there's plenty of that here. So, brother, the future is already here, and it's square, Korean, and electric. And you know what? I like it a hell of a lot.